Hello again, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the show at night. We have a very special episode for you this evening, and here he is, without further ado, your host and star, Josh Beckish! La Cuca Josha, La Cuca Josha, Josh!
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to our first, station proper episode. It's just us tonight, and here
no
we are.
interview.
No interview, just us.
Well, an interview of sorts.
Tonight we're just going to give you a little bit of insight as to how the transition process came to be and where the idea came from and all that kind of stuff, and just where we were at over our, I believe, we had about like a 7-month break. It didn't seem like that long, but holy moly.
Well, I've missed you a lot, so it seemed like longer to me.
It seems like a lifetime.
Yeah, it's great to be back in the saddle, as they say.
It's great to be back. Let's have a little toast.
Cheers.
Cheers to you.
Beverages of choice.
Yeah.
Look, you got a little gluggy glug going over there.
What? It's not that much, right?
Are we product placing here?
I mean, just letting everybody know what we're drinking. I, of course, am drinking name brand whiskey. You're drinking water with vitamins.
I am. Citrus flavored. Yeah.
Well, I hope you enjoy those vitamins.
In my water.
Mm-hmm.
I do. Regularly.
Cheers to you, sir.
Salud.
We're finally here.
The new digs are great. Very comfortable, very cozy. Mm-hmm. Got a professional feel to it.
Yeah.
I bet the fans are wondering why we're dressed like this. What are we wearing?
Yeah.
Well, Josh
took
took a trip.
I took several trips, all in one.
Right. Good. Very smart. Very well done.
In a search for spiritual, mental enlightenment, new surroundings, new elements of life. I needed to get away.
Right.
It was difficult. We had to make sure we were traveling safely and all this. But
of course.
I felt there wasn't enough around me to keep me going, and really know what we were gonna do.
You wanted
to
do a little soul searching.
I mean, sometimes you just need new surroundings. I decided it'd be a great idea to be involved in a trip to Tulum, Mexico.
Tulum.
To, for the very first time in my life, take all-natural, plant-based psychedelic medicine.
Well, is acid plant-based? It was a long time ago. We're not here to talk about that tonight.
Right. We are here to talk about me and my experience.
I'm going to have many questions,
Well,
along the way.
Feel free to.
Because I have a curious mind. I have a very curious mind, especially when it comes to things as interesting to me as hallucinogens. So please start the story.
So basically, here's what happened. So we get down to Mexico. We get to our location. We get to our place, our bed situation that's been reserved for us. We're there with a small group.
Cabana, perhaps,
yeah,
a resort type thing.
A little spot to rest.
There's more than just a bed.
Correct.
You start just rolling them off.
200 pesos. Yeah. So we get to this place. I'm initially only expecting to do this hallucinogenic drug. The name of it, I'll be honest, I probably should have taken the time to look it up, but I thought it'd be more interesting for the show to show that I cannot say the name of whatever it is I took. It is in the family.
Are we even going to try to say it?
It's in the family of ayahuasca type plant.
That's the commonly known one.
Yeah,
right.
Which is a much more powerful one. If you want to try something like ayahuasca at some point, I would suggest doing this stuff. It's called like
Tepuite.
I'm not sure how to say it. So, that is all I'm planning on doing. I've been told that there are other things available.
Right.
But I have no... I'm really branching out here with the
Happily.
But I was in search of like a mind-altering opening experience, and
Well, that's my first question: is what did you hope to achieve through this experience? What were you looking to do? What kind of enlightenment? Were you looking to expand your creative process? Were you looking to tap into some deep feelings or pain or trauma that you were looking to kind of cathartically relieve yourself of? What were your intentions?
It's a great question, Byron. What I was going for was, to be honest, all joking aside, I did feel like I was in a bit of a block in my mind, a roadblock, so to speak.
Right.
I was trying to come up with how to do all this type stuff and where to go.
You
It was
should
getting
do more
harder and
drugs
harder to
because this
get
is
guests.
fantastic.
Right. Well, it'll be better soon. Give me a month on this. You guys are gonna be blown away. So okay. So, but I was like, the opportunity was presented to me, and I thought, okay, this isn't my scene. I'm almost 35 years old. Never tried it before.
No hallucinogens ever.
No.
No mushrooms, no acid,
Nope.
nothing. Yeah.
And people are shocked by that. Apparently, I give off the presence of a
Oh,
guy
yeah.
that loves to do drugs. What's the worst that could happen besides I die or like this melts my brain?
Yeah.
Okay, so we get down there and I start meeting a couple of the people that are running the ceremony and have done the things.
You had a medicine
before.
woman, correct?
There was a medicine woman. She was not there initially. She only came on the day of, and they started talking to me about this thing called combo that they're doing the next day. What combo is literally this. I don't know, they take something, some sort of salve, some sort of like, like a, almost like an ointment feeling,
Ointment, yeah.
something like that. But not an ointment, like all natural,
Right.
I don't know, whatever it is. But then they mix it with, they scrape off like the poisonous goo off of like a poisonous frog.
Poisonous goo.
Yeah. And they mix it. I swear to God, next time I have a story that involves a lot of details that I don't know, that I will look these things up. Because
I'm not sure that
but it makes the story more
minutiae
endearing.
Right. That's not really not.
Okay, so anyway, so they're all talking to me, and this one guy pitches it as, I had really bad shoulder pain and neck pain for like a long time, and then I got like combo, and what it's supposed to do is, the poison goes into you, and it's to make you throw up. So like, well, what you're doing is you're purging anything,
The toxins,
negative energy, anything that's like holding you back or causing you discomfort is supposed to just kind of be released.
Sometimes when I have shoulder pain, I try a couple ibuprofen and some icy hot.
Yeah.
Right.
So I'm looking at it like, okay,
not
I've barfed a handful of times in my life. Who hasn't? Threw up right before we did this.
Nerves.
I'm like, okay, I can handle puking. If this will, and like, so I have,
I would never
like,
take
neck-
anything that I knew by design was intended to make me vomit.
Yeah, right.
I wouldn't
and
do
that's
it.
probably, and that's what I should have done.
Kiambo.
The process literally is, they light like a stick, like a small sharpened stick. They light it, and then they like jab you on your arm, and it burns you. And they do that 3 times, so you get these 3 dots. It's kind of cool. It's kind of like dominoes. So they burn you, and then like an
Sounds fantastic.
like a burn ointment, they wipe the poison on your open wound to start.
And
the
so that's
healing
the
process.
access point.
Yeah.
That's how the poison gets in, is through the burn holes.
Yeah, via your burnt skin.
The poked burned skin.
Yeah,
So there's-
I mean it's not like it doesn't go like in you. It's just like it's like basically taking like a flat thing and like just
That's much
it's,
better.
It's kind of like burning a cigarette, 3 cigarettes in your arm.
Sure.
That's what I would compare it to.
Because you've had that happen a lot of times too, I bet.
A few times.
Yeah.
So you're not supposed to eat the night before. And the morning of. But you can have like maybe a little bit of fruit.
Black coffee.
Very little. Black coffee is
Right.
allowed. Just basically.
It's just like a colonoscopy.
No protein.
I've never had a colonoscopy because I'm delaying that. Not interested.
Yeah, I mean, but you probably need one.
I don't.
You probably do.
Everything's good back there.
You need one. Then, when it's your turn, you have to drink like 5 to 6 glasses of water. I think I had to drink 6 to 7 because I'm like
Bigger guy.
than most of the people.
Yeah.
But you have to drink this in like 5 or 10 minutes.
Okay.
That's a lot of water.
Chug water. Big
Yeah.
deal.
Okay. So anyway, so then they come up, and once you've chugged all this water, then that's when they burn your arm. 1, 2, 3.
So that you're putting the fire out from the inside.
Yeah, sort of.
Right. Yeah. Hydration.
But so it burns, and then they rub the frog poison, which I'm sure has a real name. So now I've been poisoned, and at first I'm feeling okay. At first I'm like, I can feel a little, like you know when you get like a little lightheaded and it kind of feels like those like tinglies all over your head?
Not as much as in the days of yore, but
Right.
yeah, sure.
But yeah, just like, or
Right.
even when it's hot out. So yeah, so I kind of am like getting a little tingly, I'm a little like,
Does the vision shift at all? Do you, like,
So not at the moment. Like I said, for the first 10 to 20 seconds after it, I'm good. Then, out of nowhere, what also happens when you take this is your throat can swell up.
This sounds terrible.
Trust me, it's a rough process, but like everybody that takes it is like, they can see the benefits of it. So my throat starts to close up, and I feel like I'm choking to death.
Ooh.
I can't really breathe at this point.
How many miles or minutes away is the closest hospital?
I don't think it was that close. But like the people that were there, once again, had been trained how to handle all these situations. So they
Cardiac
were
arrest?
prepared to
One of the
take care of it.
anaphylactic shock and
Yeah.
all of that? They
Yeah.
know that? Okay.
There were medical experts there.
Perfect. Sounds safe.
So, hey. So anyway, so I can't breathe. And that's when I start to think, maybe I don't really like this. I get that a lot of people do like it. It was not for me. But,
Okay.
so here's what happened. So I couldn't breathe. And I'm kind of like realizing I can't breathe.
Do you know that the purpose of poison is to make you die?
Correct.
Right.
I volunteered to have some.
Mm-hmm.
And what happened was, so I couldn't breathe. And at that point I also started getting like, that's when I started getting really lightheaded. Because I couldn't breathe.
Did you want to lay down?
Sort of, but I was more interested in I wanted them to pour water on me. I was like, oh, I'm feeling flush. Give me a splash of water on my face. But I couldn't say anything.
Oh.
So they were like
Because
taking
the
care of...
throat was so swollen that the vocal cords didn't work?
So yeah, so they were taking care of like
dear
other
Lord.
people that were doing stuff. And I'm sitting there going, water, I need the water. So now at this point I have to try to figure out,
Wish I had been there.
in this moment while I think that I'm literally dying, I have to think, how do I hand signal pour water on my head? So I'm like, at first I'm just going like this, then that turned into like this, and then I was like, well, they have bowls, so then that turned into like this, and I'm just like, where is everyone? I don't know what's happening right now. And I kind of started going down.
Where was your companion in all of this?
So then, out of nowhere, sitting next to me. But they don't have the water. Also there's a bucket in front of you. So this all happens in the span of the next 10 seconds. As I think I'm going down to die on the ground, I'm going forward and I get slammed in the face with a big splash of water. That immediately brings me from foot into ground to like, and I come back to life. I can't really breathe as well as I normally would, but I can at least get like a type thing going. As soon as that happens, my stomach goes, and now we're out of here.
Right.
Everything comes up. Now,
Front door only or a little...
Just in the front. Top floor. So,
Just checking.
So...
I mean, poison can cause diarrhea.
Correct. Okay. So I start to throw up, but since I didn't eat the night before or the morning of,
Sure.
nothing comes up. It's all the water. It's just popping back on you because you shouldn't have that much water in you at one point in time.
I think I'd rather have all that water than any poison at all.
Oh, trust me, same. But so anyway, okay. So I started to throw up, and it's just like water, like massive amounts of water. And then on the last one...
How many actual hurls did you have?
I'd say 4 to 6.
Okay, all right.
But it was just like, what? It came out clean because it was just water.
Did you use the bucket or just on the ground?
No, yeah, I used the bucket.
Really? Well, that was
Not
thoughtful of you. Not an animal,
But
exactly.
But then on the last one, and it's crazy because this is how it happened. On the last one, you do purge this like neon yellowish, orangish
This is bile.
glob. Correct. But it does feel good to get that out of you.
Okay.
You do feel better afterwards. It was a little hard to breathe still. Apparently, I don't remember this, and I don't think I did it, but everyone else there seems to have the same recollection of me apparently like falling backwards with the puke bucket, and the puke like splashed all over me.
Oh,
I don't remember
boy.
that. What I remember...
That's a real kick to the groin, isn't it?
I don't remember, and I don't think that's what happened. Because I remember at one point, I
happened.
did start to lay down, but what happened was I'm gonna lay down, I realized I'm holding this bucket. If I go all the way back, I'm going to spill it on me. So I kind of like bounced, and I think some, in that bounce move, skipped out and got a little on my shirt. But I do not think I poured the entire bucket on me.
Did anyone else have any swelling experiences? Did people's arms
really?
blow up or faces or?
Okay, that is a great question.
I know.
They also tell you before it starts, sometimes people like to do a child's pose, which is a yoga pose. However, what can happen in that moment if you stay down there too long is
the poison rushes to your face.
That poison will course through your body and go into your face. So there was a point where I was like, oh man, and I went like this for about a second, and then I was like, poison face, and I hopped back up. So I did have some swelling. It was very minimal though. It was just kind of like...
Not around the eyes.
I mean,
yeah.
It was like this area. But it wasn't
I'm assuming no cell phones with cameras were allowed at the ceremony.
No,
That's really unfortunate.
Well, I don't think you couldn't have them. I think people just knew like not to be on them. But I think maybe I'm sure they told them not to be doing anything. I did.
Snapchat.
After I was done, I did go back to my room and take some video clips. They'll be woven into the show.
Interesting.
In some form or another. But yeah, no, there were a couple people that walked out of there with a pretty, their heads looked like the marshmallow guy from Ghostbusters.
Yeah.
They were like, this was out here, and like all that. It was rough.
It's terrible. How long were they? Did the effects of this last? How long were you out of sorts? How long did they have marshmallow face? What length are we talking about? How many hours?
So, okay. It varies with your body, how you
poison,
right. But I'm just saying, some people was different. There was some people that it was dinner time later and it was like, okay, cool, we can all go eat. And there were some people that were like, I'm not going anywhere because my face is still like this. But then...
You go out clubbing, all poisoned up.
I mean, realistically, probably I'd say somewhere between 2 to 6 hours for for different people.
It's a huge range, dude.
Well, right, but I'm saying like, okay, so I told you I didn't have a lot of swelling, so mine was gone in a couple hours. But if you had like,
is there any
big face
buzz at all, or is it all just the vomiting and the swelling
so
and the
you
physical?
do get like a buzz, not a buzz, but like you do feel refreshed.
All right.
As crazy as it sounds, after you
don't want to interrupt you.
Spew.
Give me one enjoyable aspect of this experience.
Of the combo experience?
Yeah, that one.
The second
Combo.
I was told I could get up and walk away. I'm not gonna lie. People do it. It's a thing a lot of people do, and a lot of people have very positive feedback of it. I did not like it at all.
That was not your only drug experience of this trip.
So then they have this other thing called hape, which is it's like this another ground up, all natural plant, stuff, and they blow that. What they do with that is they blow this into your nose.
Oh.
Like they put a pipe in your nose.
Trippy cocaine.
They put a pipe in your nose, and then they go. Like it's not like.
No,
like
right.
Have some. I'm
right.
blowing wind into your nose
Right.
and power. I thought that was optional. So I was going to pass on that. Because I did not like the
But
sound.
you signed up for the package deal. So.
Well, no. What hape is it prepares you. It prepares you for the next stage of the plant medicine. Hape is meant to open your mind's eye.
Right.
Yeah.
Cool.
One cool thing was the lady came up to me, the medicine woman. She told me, "You are a king." And I just figured she told it to everybody.
Does that make me a prince?
Maybe.
I did freebase cocaine back in the 80s, yeah.
Well, we'll have to get into that.
Another episode.
Another episode. I'll cheers to that.
Of course you will.
Anyway, and then other people are having big reactions to the hape.
Hape.
They're like because it's opening your mind's eye. So mine is kind of just calming me, and I'm just like observing a lot. And I start thinking to myself,
did you get aroused?
no, I wish. I really wonder.
I wish you had taken one of them, and it just gave you like a raging boner. That would have been awesome.
It would have been great. It would have been a sight to see. The whole group would have liked it.
You'd have been the hit of the party.
Yeah, big time. So a lot of people are like,
ear, nose,
constantly
throat. Remember,
spitting.
there's doctors. It's all connected.
Right.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of people doing a lot of spitting, just like making their sinuses swell.
Sure.
And all that stuff, and some people are vomiting.
This is not poison, however.
No.
This is just.
This is all natural.
Is it plant-based poison?
No, it's just plants. It's hape. Now I'm thinking, well, maybe I am a king because I'm handling it, and other people are not handling it. So then I get to watch a group of people do it.
What did they look like?
The first round of people do it, and they're having varying reactions. Some people
to the hape part.
No, to the
tapuite.
Oh, okay.
How do you ingest the tapuite?
I'll get to that when I tell you how I ingested the tapuite. So I'm watching people, and they're having reactions that range anywhere from bawling, crying.
Ooh.
Some people are just kind of vibing it out, dancing.
Mm-hmm.
Some people are getting a little like something's like coming out of them. Like there was a couple people that legitimately I thought there was like an exorcism going on.
Oh
Like
boy.
they were going to a dark place and like some real deep stuff was coming out.
Oof.
And like being released from their mind and body and memory and all that. They were just like, I don't mean to laugh, but I look over, some people are just like,
really rage.
They're hitting the ground. some of them are like ripping grass up, and they're just but the whole time the medicine woman and her assistants are all there to like if somebody's having a bad reaction like that, they're over there to kind of calm them and just tell them like, hey, like just get it out of you, just you can fight through it, don't worry, we're here, don't worry. And there was this moment, it was actually very beautiful. It was like these people were having these intense reactions, and then the person would talk them down, and then they would like kind of just be like, hey, like, don't worry, you're gonna be okay. And they would like hug them.
Oh, that's
it was a very
sweet.
It was very nice.
I like that part. That's the best part of the story so far.
But my thing was like I was watching that going, I don't want to do that in front of people because there's also like a little bit of like a self-conscious thing.
Sure, you don't want to have that vulnerability, that open intimacy where
right, because I'm about to go to a place where I'm not going to be in much control of my mind.
No, I would not want to be pounding the ground, screaming with rage.
Like I don't know if I'm ready to like violently cry in front of a group of people that I don't really know.
Yeah.
You know, I don't know if I'm ready to. I don't know what's going to come out of my mouth. So we get into it. So it's my turn. They get to me. I'm watching the people as they go down the line. There's like 5 in a group.
Okay.
And there's a person that is crying.
Mm-hmm. One crier.
There is a person that is hugging a tree.
People do that when they're not on drugs.
There is a person that is crying.
Ooh. Crier number 2.
Then there is a person that's having a very guttural mix of like an exorcism and an orgasm.
A primal experience.
Very primal. Very, at first it's like, and then it's very like, and like there's movement and there's a lot of
Is this a male or female?
This is a female.
Ooh.
Then it's your boy Josh. It's your boy Josh. It's the king's turn.
King's turn.
The king's turn. And Steph's
Royalty.
next to me.
Yeah.
So then there's the queen of sorts is next to me.
Yeah.
And this is my mindset going into it. I'm watching everybody going, I don't want to do that. I don't want, that one's fine. The hugging the ground, the hugging the tree I was more than fine with.
Sure.
It was laying on the ground hugging the base of a tree.
Which I can do that. The kind of rage flowing into orgasm didn't interest you?
No, not in front of this group of people.
Okay.
That is a private moment.
Okay.
It needs to be kept private by me. So she comes to me and she goes, this is the same woman that called you the king earlier. And she's like,
Medicine woman.
And she goes, okay, you ready now? And I go, yeah, I think I am. And no joke, she goes, oh yeah, so it's a pipe with the ground up medicine in there. And you basically smoke it like weed. It's like it's smoking a bowl.
Which now is also medicine.
Right.
Right.
So, but you don't have control of it. They just kind of like, they put it in your mouth and light it. So she's like, yeah, you're like, trust me, you're right. Like, you need this. This is, you're gonna try this.
So is it a plant or is it more
It's
like
plant-based stuff. It's multiple different
right? But
roots
what's the texture? What does it look like?
I mean, it looks more or less like weed, and then like maybe you put like some other stuff,
Droppings, trimmings.
No, yeah, like some tree bark or a little bit of this and a little bit of that.
But it's dry.
Dirt, maybe. Yeah.
It's more like it's not hashishi.
It's more like a seasoning.
Okay.
You know.
Yeah, no, I get it.
Like a little Italian.
A little
spice.
dry rub.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So so she just puts this thing in my mouth, lights it, and now I have to take a hit. And here's my thing. I can't handle like big hits of any smoke-based anything.
Really?
No. I don't do well with it. So she's like, okay, like, just like, inhale. So she lights it. And I start to inhale. And I take what I would call like my size inhale. And she's like, nope, keep going. And I'm like, knowing that at a certain point, my head's going to explode.
Well,
I'm a cougher when smoke enters my body. So I'm like, oh my God. So I keep going, and she's just, keep going.
In
We're now
in one inhale, you're supposed to, or are you
One
kind of
inhale.
like puffing?
No. This is literally the biggest hit off of anything I've ever taken in my life.
Ooh.
Which I'm immediately concerned in my head that I'm about to like cough the next 45 minutes.
Right.
Or my head's gonna explode.
Sure.
But another stroke of everything working together.
King.
The king's,
Yeah.
this is obviously, the body, the mind, the everything.
The spirit.
A man meant to sit on.
Forget the body and the mind. You have the spirit of a
I
king.
do. I have the spirit of the lion and King Kong, King Koopa, all the great kings.
Right. King of the hill.
Nat King Cole.
Yeah.
Yeah. So anyway, I take this hit, and I'm about to have the most violent cough of my life. It's coming. I can feel it go. And right as it's about to exit my body, everything just kind of goes, much like with the hape.
Hape.
My body at the very last second has gone, no. We're not doing this.
Right.
We're not doing this here. And I just kind of hold it, and then and immediately
Gracefully exhale.
things start to kind of not go crazy,
But shift.
but there's a little bit like things are looking a little brighter.
Enhancements. I love enhancements.
Colors are changing
Sure.
into these beautiful things, but like just a little bit.
Right.
And I'm kind of like, because they tell you it's supposed to take effect immediately. Like as soon as you exhale,
Yes.
the thing.
Right. The rush happens. Yeah.
And I'm sitting there and I'm like, okay.
You're waiting
Yeah.
for it.
Yeah, like nothing. Like I said, little things were happening, but I was like, oh, like. This
You
is
wanted the power shot. You wanted right.
Which is what I got when this woman came back to me and said, I think you need to do one more, and literally just went without me being able to say yes or no to that. Shoved this thing in my face, lit it, and said, breathe in. And I just went, and I'm not even joking, in this moment, I inhaled, and the world looked completely, the same way it did before, pretty much.
Mm-hmm.
And I exhaled, and it felt like I was watching the breath go forward,
Ooh,
and
that's
I
cool.
was going like back.
Floating away. Yes.
And then I just kind of went, and all of a sudden, all the colors were different. The ground, I could see the grass moving.
Love it.
I was
Oh
looking
yeah.
up in the trees, the branches.
Oh,
were
this is so much
swaying.
fun. Yes, the
It
good
was
old
like
days.
it was like being in like a cartoon.
Right.
It was great.
Yeah.
And so I'm like, and I kind of sat there, and I sat very stoically, as a king would do, on his throne. And I just
Were you sitting on the ground or on
Yeah.
the chair? On the
on
cross.
like a towel.
Okay.
Nothing fancy. I'm a humble king. But here's what starts happening. Had this woman never said oh, you're a king, I feel like I would have had a different experience. But what happened to me was all this cool stuff starts happening, but nothing like bad happens. And I'm not like seeing stuff. And I'm not having any reaction really. I'm like pretty much just sitting like this the whole time. And I'm kind of just looking around. And I'm watching everybody else, and they're having their like, they're crying. Or
Yes.
very
Right.
emotional. It's
Right.
bringing a lot out of people.
Of course.
And in that moment, I kind of sat there and was like, you know what? Maybe I am a fucking king, because I'm looking at all these people, and they're all and they've done this before, most of them. And they're having all these crazy reactions. Not crazy reactions, but they're having reactions.
Extreme reactions.
Yes.
Right.
Their body is taking care of whatever business is happening. And I'm sitting
It's
here
not their
just,
body, my friend. It's their
mind,
soul.
their
It's
spirit,
their psyche.
their soul, yeah.
Right. Their spirit is being released.
Their inner self.
Yes.
Their mind's eye has been opened. It's now seeing
Right.
life for the first time.
Mm-hmm.
But I just sat there
Boring.
and like looked at everybody. It was literally my entire experience. I've never done it. Everybody else there had done it before. Their mind was ready for it. Mine was not.
You just sat there?
I sat there and I looked around.
How long did you sit there?
I'd say I sat there for somewhere between 30 to 40 minutes.
Okay.
I think the actual experience itself lasted about 20. And then
That's it?
Yeah.
Huh.
But in that moment, though, I'll be honest, it went away to some effect afterwards. But
Maybe you're immune.
in that moment, I've never been more confident in myself in my life, because what my mind did do was keep just thinking about this king thing, and notice what everybody else was going through, and I was just like,
Did you have any beverage with you? Did you have water?
no,
No water.
no water,
Snacks?
no
Plantains?
snacks. No snacks during.
Tortilla chips? Anything?
No snacks during, but because you weren't supposed to eat. Again.
Yeah. Food deprivation.
But there was like some fresh fruit, and like Mexican fruit is, Mexican grown fresh fruit is way different than the shit we have here. It's delicious. I'm telling you, it is. There is a difference. So,
Okay.
but that you don't get that until after you're done.
Right.
So, but yeah, and I just kind of sat there and I looked, and Steph was
like
there.
a king, feeling regal.
So I don't know what the deal with that was. But I did feel very kingly, because I felt like I felt.
Did you feel that the rest of the people around you were in your kingdom and they were your court, maybe your village, and you were their leader?
I did feel in that moment like maybe this is proof in a way, like, and okay, like obviously I'm not a king of any kind.
Oh, don't tell everybody that.
But what I felt though, what I felt like that meant was like I was meant to be like a leader, and I had to lead by example. And my example was I am sitting here and I'm being like unaffected by this stuff, because if anything were to happen, I have to be there to like make sure everybody's okay.
Oh, so like if the medicine woman wasn't able to help somebody, you would step in.
Yeah.
Cool.
Like I was there to be like, no, don't worry, like I got you. Which is a lot of pressure. I thought this like, but you know, I just sat there and I felt very good about myself, and I felt very confident. And then as soon as it went away, I was like, oh my god, I bet I looked like a dick out there, because I was just sitting there staring at.
So the insecurities just came rolling back in the way.
Yeah. Those things don't just disappear overnight.
Huh.
But yeah. And
well, that's fascinating.
But also in that time, I started thinking about what was going on back home.
Here.
And in the midst of that entire thing, with everything that happened, I dreamt this up. Now, obviously, it didn't look like this. But I knew the only way we were going to be able to do the show going forward and have it really be able to work is to get back to reality.
Live.
Get back to real life.
Real human interactions.
Yeah. And I knew that was what I had to do. And so when I came back, I started working on this studio, and I started working on a couple of other things that will be coming in the future. Some new additions to the lineup and some of our segments. But yeah, and then like, people were going through, so okay, so my experience was like 20 minutes. Other people's experiences were like, there was some people that were like 30, 45 minutes. There were other people that went for like an hour and a half.
Ooh.
Yeah, and they were like really getting into it. And then I ate some watermelon, and it was awesome.
Ooh, but that was good. Did you spit the seeds?
Oh yeah, there's a lot of seeds.
Didn't even land on Pence's.
No, not this time. He was a little further away than you. But yeah, so I went down there and I took mind-altering plant medicine, and I dreamt up the idea to have the show live, and that was the only way I was going to do it. Obviously, for some of the interviews, that can't be what happens, but
right.
Yeah.
Yeah, so here we
And
are.
then got the thought process started, and as we opened the show with saying, this is the explanation for where we've been.
Yeah. Backstory.
And yeah.
One question. One
6
final
months
question.
of complete, like, I don't know what to do with the show anymore. Erased in
We have a
one
clear vision.
Yeah.
Final question. Would you do it again? Any of them. The tapupite, the kambu,
So here's
or
the thing.
the hopa.
Would I do it again?
Hupo.
Yes.
Oh, surprised by that answer.
I would do it again.
You would.
Now.
Even the one, all of them?
No.
Not
just,
the
just the
poison.
last one.
Just the last, right.
Which I guess that includes 2 of them, because I have to do the hot.
Yeah, to cleanse, to get the with the opening, and the, yeah.
So here's the thing, I would do it again. However, I have no real, if I don't do it again.
No need to now.
If I don't do it again, I won't be upset about it.
Right. You're not craving another experience.
Right, but it was a cool experience, and it was cool to try it, and it was in a safe environment. It wasn't just like me tripping with some dudes in a garage somewhere. It was like a
Hey,
real.
don't go knocking that. Tripping with dudes in the garage can be a lot of fun. I'm
Cool.
sure some of our audience has done that and may continue to do that.
I mean,
Don't sound, look, we know you're the king, but you don't need to sound all elitist about your trippy experiences.
look, as the king and the ruling person on this show, I just want to say,
Yes, sire.
chill out with the drugs, everybody. That's what happened, and that's why we're here now.
Celebrating
live in
Yeah.
studio.
to the future of the show at night with your host, star, and king, Josh Beckish.
And I do want to let everybody know there are a lot of exciting things coming on this show. I know we'll see how this turns out. I don't know if this was good, but
I think it's fantastic.
I have some ideas I'm putting together. They're complicated by the current situation going on with the world.
World's
right
still
now.
not fixed,
But,
in case you haven't noticed.
But I'm trying to come up with a way to make it work. So that'll be coming, hopefully next week I'll have more news on
We
it.
got lots of ideas.
There's
We got
a lot
lots of
going on.
ideas. Our
Lots
creative
of
process, the wheels are constantly turning. And,
We're working on some more great
oh,
interviews.
look at that. Wait, show everybody that. That's cool.
Yeah,
They hook together.
yeah.
Ooh.
So anyway, guys, that's the story of why we're here.
Josh's Mexican drug journey.
It just took one trip, and I just want to let you guys know that I did rush the show coming back because I felt like we needed to get back out there. So I will let you know, if you're watching the show now, I know it looks kind of shit.
What? You
But-
can say that, but I wasn't allowed to say that?
I'm
He's the
talking
king.
about in terms of we're on just one shot on the camera.
Oh, we got lots of plans.
We're in
to
the
upgrade
process
that.
of acquiring more stuff.
Equipment, staffing.
By this time, let's say a year from now.
What? That
Just
gives
giving
us
you-
a lot of latitude.
Just giving you like
yeah,
a
big
real
plans. Yeah,
In the grand scheme of things, a year is not that long.
no.
But like, if you're still here with us in like a year, you'll be watching a completely different program.
Yeah.
Like the goal here is to bring you something new, something fresh, make it look better, give it more of a great production quality, make it more interesting, all the stuff you guys want as we go along.
Striving for improvements.
But then again, what makes us so cute is our
Well.
underdog cable access.
I think we're cute.
We
no
look-
matter where we are,
we
even
look-
in this basement with nothing on the wall behind us.
We look like a show that was like early YouTube. We could easily date this like 2002 and people wouldn't bat an eyelash.
Except,
They'd be like, oh, we found this crazy show from like the early 2000s. It's like one of the first big YouTube shows. You gotta check it out.
I'd rather us be in the present, but you're,
No, well,
you're
yeah,
in
yeah.
charge, King.
Yeah.
So one thing that hasn't changed and probably won't. What do we always say here at the show at night? tonight we should say adios.
Badios. Bye.
It's gonna need
That's
some
gonna be
editing.
fun to edit.